Jim Montgomery in his third season with the Pioneers. Last year, lost in the East Regional Final. A very, very nice season, however. A record of 24-14-2. Jim, welcome to the show.
Guys, thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, sure. Hey, you open play on Sunday. You're going against the University of Calgary. You guys ready for this? You ready for the season to start?
Well, considering we've only been allowed to go 2 hours a week for the past 3 weeks, it's going to be I don't know what to call it. I can't say we're ready, that's for sure. Preparation's been low, but everyone's excited to get going. So it's going to be fun. We're going to see what our young guys can bring to the program.
Jim, is that fair? I mean, the NCAA, in its efforts to try and prevent injury, to make sure that students are student athletes, but does that place the student athlete in a tougher situation where he really doesn't have enough time to prepare for the season in the way he should, so that you don't have a situation like that where you really don't know what you got until it happens?
No, absolutely. It's more the preventive of injuries for our student athletes. And statistically, student athletes do better when their schedule is complete. So their time management, they know exactly their time slot to study, and they know when they have to sleep in order to perform right. Once they out of season and they have more time on their hands, what do student athletes or students do in particular? They tend to socialize more than they tend to study.
I remember that very well. Let me ask you this. Let's talk to the team. Talk about your team from the back to the front. What you got between the pipes and what you got at the blue line that you're looking at this season?
Yeah, we returned both goalies that got significant playing time last year. Really, they were both freshmen because Evan Kelly didn't play that much his freshman year, and both have made significant strides. You can see the maturity in both their play and their mental aspect to the game. So I'm really excited about how they're going to backbone our team. Our D-corps is still one of the best D-corps in the league, despite losing Joey Legia and Josiah Didier, because we returned so many talented defensemen. We're not as, vaunted back there as we were last year. But we're still one of the top D-corps in the country.
Jim, if you had to bet, who's going to lead your team in scoring?
Oh, wow, that's a tough one. Just because, it's going to be Trevor Moore or Dan Heinen, but if I had to gather a guess, I'd say Dan Heinen.
Jim, are you dealing with the issues that DU hockey has been the premier program, not a DU, but one of the top programs forever in college sports in the country, and now DU has become a lacrosse school?
Come on. Come on. Woody. That was Woody, Jim, just in case you were wondering.
Well, it's easy.
They were one game away from the Frozen Four last year. Come on.
Yeah. It's easy to deal with when you have so much respect for the lacrosse program and Coach Tierney and Coach Brown and all those young men, what they did for our university last year. It's helped our recruiting out in Western Canada.
Really?
It's just great for the university when we all have success.
When you say that, if I can just follow up on that, do you think it's giving more recognition that when guys go, oh yeah, and you got a great lacrosse team when you're recruiting? Follow up on that, if you will. I mean, it really has genuinely helped you get into more homes, or more people are familiar with what you're doing and what DU's doing?
Yeah, I don't know if it's gotten us in more homes, but the topic of conversation in Western Canada comes up frequently, and also when we're dealing with kids in the Midwest, because lacrosse is such a booming sport. And I also think, it's really healthy for the University of Denver Athletics to be known as a lacrosse school, besides just being known as a ski and hockey school.
Jim, I saw you last week. Speaking of recruiting, I saw you last week during the promotion of the NHL Classic. And before the Avs and the Red Wings play at Coors Field, you are going to play Colorado College. How is that helping you recruit? Is it?
Yes, it does, because it shows that we want to be a big-time program and play in big-time games in prominent places. And for us to get the national visibility of an outdoor game, being sponsored by NHL, and it's such a great venue like Coors Field, adding to the tradition of CC Denver rivalry, it only helps us. That really is a huge boost to our recruiting.
Jim, have you ever been a part of an outdoor game, and how do you think, in your thinking about this, knowing it was coming up, is there any reason to prepare differently when you get to that point? But have you ever been involved in one? So
yeah, I have not been. And speaking to a lot of friends in the NHL, you don't prepare any differently. You can't prepare for the weather, whether it's going to be perfect or whether it's going to be inclement. And the conditions of the ice are out of your control. So you just try and prepare the exact same way. It's going to be the exact same dimensions that we're used to here at Magnus Arena, and we'll put forth the same game plan.
Well, Jim, appreciate your time. Good luck Sunday, opener against the University of Calgary, and we'll be talking to you throughout the season, all right?
Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for having me on. Talk to you
Right.
during the year.
Jim Montgomery is the head hockey coach.